Hello, viewers. Welcome to Edolve's series of super celebrity interviews. Now, today, we present the coolest of the cool, Amvi. We must welcome her, and we're going to see what makes her tick and what makes her click. So, hello, Amvi.
Hi, ma'am.
Good to see you. And for the benefit of our viewers, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Amvi and I'm 11 years old.
Right. And which school do you go to, Amvi?
I go to Greenwood High and I study in Bangalore.
Oh, lovely. I love Bangalore. All right. Now, this last year has been quite a trial for all of us, hasn't it? So what do you look forward to every day when you wake up?
I look forward to meeting my friends every day and eating lots of good food.
Yes, food makes us all happy. But during the pandemic, you couldn't really meet your friends, could you? So what happened then?
I was pretty sad and because I couldn't talk to them, but we found different ways to communicate, and I think that's a necessity. Everyone's talking through video calls, and I think that's how we all didn't lose our connect, and we all kept on talking and talking.
Great. All right. Now, I'm going to ask you one of those typical hypothetical questions. I don't even know if you have stuffed animals anymore. All right. But if you had a stuffed animal and it could talk, what would it say?
If my stuffed animal could talk, they would be pretty angry with me because I sleep with them actually, because at night I don't know why I'm pretty scared. So I sleep with them, and by the end of the morning they're under me or off the bed or anywhere where you wouldn't want them to be. So I think they would lecture on how to sleep.
All right. So are we talking about sleeping? Do you dream while sleeping, and what's it usually about?
I actually do dream, but by the end of the morning, I don't know what it's about. But as much as I remember, it's usually about me being in some junk food land, like candy land, ice cream land, chocolate land, and I'm eating until I'm living. It's like, you know how you say you eat to live, but me in that dream, I was living to eat.
I love this. I know somebody else is like me then. But the only thing is that, well, of course, you're very young yet. I hope you don't end up like me ultimately. All right. So parents really occupy a huge part of our lives, don't they? But if you had the chance to do something without them, I mean, really no help or interference from your parents, what would it be?
I would love to go out shopping in the mall without my parents.
Oh.
Because they take too much time to decide on one t-shirt. And I get annoyed because how much time can you take on one t-shirt? I'd rather be in the food court. So I'd just wrap up my shopping in like half an hour and go to the food court and eat.
Oh my gosh. I think I can see a sense of theme here. All right. Now, if you were a photographer for a day, what would you like to photograph?
If I were a photographer for a day, I would love to take photos of flowers. I think flowers look really pretty and they really attract me. And if I could choose one or two that I would love to take photos of, it would be rose and lavender.
Oh, yes. Yes, I love roses and I love lavender. And it just beautifies a hillside so much when you see lavender around the hillside. I was very lucky. I went to Grasse, which is very near Nice, and they have a perfumery there, which makes some of the best perfumes in France. And if you saw the lavender fields, it was the most beautiful thing I've seen in my life. The colors, oh my gosh. Not just lavender, of course, but a whole lot of very aromatic flowers. Right. Now, a lot of our questions today, Amvi, are going to be hypothetical. All right? Now, pretend you're a chef and you have a restaurant. What fantastic or special dish would you like to create?
That's quite a question.
All right.
If I was a chef for a whole day, I would love to create a pie, but not a normal pie like we see apple, banana, mango, not any fruit type pie.
Okay.
I would love to make a pie out of coffee, marshmallows, and chocolate. And that's not where it ends.
Okay.
After you're done baking it, it's going to be an inside of a chocolate cake.
All right. Then?
And the chocolate cake will be layered with fondant. And on top of the fondant, there'll be cake pops. And there you go, my dish.
My gosh, I'm still trying to figure out how many layers your dish has. But yes, it's not very sweet, is it? All right. One more hypothetical. All right. If you were a superhero, I mean, I love Marvel. I've just been watching Winter Soldier episode by episode. Very moving. Now, if you were a superhero, what would your name be and what's your superpower?
If I was a superhero, my superpower would be invisibility.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's a very cool power. And my name would be the Unseen.
Whoa, I'm feeling the hair stand on my arms. That sounds very mysterious. Very, very mysterious. The Unseen. Lovely. But I mean, I still don't understand why you want to be invisible.
I think there are a lot of things you can do when you're invisible. And if you're not on your job, I think you could be very naughty and mischievous around the house.
Okay, mischief is what you want to do. Anything else more significant?
And if you're in a job, which you are going to be, I think a superpower like invisibility will really help you, because you don't know your enemy can't see you. So there's a lot you can do when the enemy can't see you.
Okay, so you're talking about a job which is like a superhero's job, fighting crime and all that stuff. Yeah, okay, so now we've talked about enemies, but I want to talk about a friend. Okay, so what's the most important thing that you look for in a friend?
The most important thing I think I look for in a friend is a sense of humor. If they don't have a sense of humor, you don't want to hang out with a person that's always dull and sad. So I think sense of humor is very important.
You know, people cannot be happy all the time. You do understand that. So if your friend was sad and you know there's something wrong, what would you do?
I think I agree with someone being sad at a point of time. Everyone has their time when they're sad and they really need a friend. So I would love to watch comedy films with her, and I would tell her jokes, but not the jokes like we normally tell each other, like dad jokes, because dad jokes are the jokes that you laugh on because they're dad jokes.
So I have to hear a dad joke, please. I gotta hear this.
I remember my sister and we were sitting in the drawing room and we were just talking normally, and my dad came and he asked me, who was the first man, like Superman, Batman, stuff like that? Me and my sister answered Superman. And he said no. And we said maybe Batman? And then he said no. And we said Aquaman. And he said no. And we all were thinking, because what man is that he knows but we don't know? How? Because he's not a DC fan or Marvel fan as much as me and my sister were. So he came and said, and then we asked him the answer, and he said Hanuman, because he's a man behind him. And we just cracked up laughing because that's one of the best dad jokes I've heard.
I love that too. Okay, those are the knock jokes, really kill me. All right, so now something a little more serious. So if you had a lakh of rupees to give to a charity or a cause, what would that cause be?
I think there's a lot of charities we can donate to, but if I could choose one, I would choose the charity that helps kids that have cancer, because they don't deserve a lifestyle where they're sidelined and judged and said a lot of things to, bullied. And I don't think they deserve a life like that, because they're also one of us after a point. And I don't think anyone deserves to be sidelined or judged. So I would love to donate to them.
Yeah, it's very, very sad how many other children tend to shun you if, there's something wrong. Or it doesn't have to be cancer, it could be just because you're different. And I think your attitude is very welcome nowadays. So, much is said about zodiac signs. So, can you tell me what is your zodiac sign and how true is it for you?
My zodiac sign is Pisces, and it's very true to me because Pisces usually lists out four main parts, which is affectionate, empathetic, wise, and artistic.
Okay.
And I go with all four. I've got that side of me which has I'm very affectionate, empathetic, and I've got that wise side of me, and I've also got that artistic side of me. So I think I'm very true to that.
What shape does this artistic part of you take?
I love doing clay modeling. I think I started doing that since I was 6.
Oh,
And I gradually developed into it. And I've not gone for any class. And I don't look at YouTube. I think whatever comes from inside of me, I make that. And it's pretty good.
good. So not hugely influenced by something you see on
Yeah.
YouTube. Happy to hear that. All right, now I'm a magic genie and I'm giving you the power to make 3 unbreakable rules for your home. What would they be?
If I could make 3 unbreakable rules for my house, they would definitely be I get to watch 4 hours of TV on Saturday, and we have to eat out on Sunday, all 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay.
And then the third rule will be that on every day, on each weekday or weekend also, we have to spend 1 hour as a family. Because everyone's very busy, but 1 hour is needed as a family.
Okay. 1 hour together with your mum and dad and your sister and everyone. Wonderful. Sounds good. Yes, family is precious, let's face it. All right. So we've talked about what makes you happy. Obviously, and the rules would make you happy too, I'm sure. But what really annoys you? What bugs you?
I think the fact that when people start spamming you on text and they'll start from A to Z and they will send every letter not once but 100 times. And that really, really bugs me and annoys me. And I just mute the chat after that. And
So
or either I leave.
it's actually happened to you?
Yes, many
Oh
times.
my God. I'm sad to hear that. Do people have nothing better to do with it? I'm not going to ask. All right. So there are lots of other questions that I want to know, but one thing I'd be really happy to know would be what's a memory from your life that makes you happy?
I think a memory from my life that makes me happy is the memory where my family and we went to Disneyland with my cousins.
Oh, wow.
And it was like a joint family, and we all stayed there for a week or 2, and we had so much fun.
I can imagine. It's my favorite vacation, by the way, Disneyland.
And Disneyland is a place where you don't roam around as an adult. Even adults are not adults. They're kids over there. Because you can't be an adult going to Disneyland. No one wants that. You have to be a kid going to Disneyland.
Oh, absolutely. And there was this utterly fabulous Harry Potter roller coaster that really took you through this virtual ride of Hogwarts, which is the best thing I've ever seen in my life and actually experienced. And the other one, which no one would go with me, was the Incredible Hulk, because it had 7 or 8 different motions all in one. And it's a lot of people had to stop and get off because it made them sick. But I loved it. So I am known as the queen of roller coasters. Right. So, a bit of a soppy question, I know. But how do you express your love for the people you care for?
I express my love for the people I care for is I either write them a letter and tell them I love them, because more than writing anything or showing them materialistically, you just have to tell them you love them. And I think that matters the most. But I also once in a while I give them gifts that I make out of clay. I write them letters, I write them small notes that make their day happy.
Okay. Right. So, one of these friends that you have, if they've asked you to keep a secret, what would you do?
I would definitely keep that secret because I know how it feels to be betrayed by someone or anyone telling your secret to someone else, and you feel embarrassed, you feel annoyed, and you just lose your trust. So I don't think I want that to happen, and I will keep a secret, but I also expect the other person to keep the secret if I tell them.
True.
Because it has to be both sides.
Absolutely. It has to go both ways. So, if you had to have your summer vacation, and I don't mean the pandemic, if you had a summer vacation or any vacation, what is a favorite thing about that summer vacation?
I would love to just relax, binge watch. I'd finish like 2-3 shows in 1 or 2 days, and
All right.
eat a lot of good food. And it's summer vacation, so ice cream.
Okay. There you go. We get back to the sweet stuff. I can see that. So, can you tell me about your most special birthday and what made it so special?
My most special birthday was actually the birthday I celebrated this year. It was my 11th birthday, and I got a wonderful cake. It was a really big cake, and it was a butterfly themed birthday because my aunt made a dress for me which was butterfly themed. So my whole house was butterfly themed and my cake was butterfly themed, and I finally got some friends coming home.
Oh, fantastic. That's lovely. And must be very recent indeed, considering you're a Pisces. Yes. So, if you had to eat just one thing for the entire week, what would you choose?
If I could eat one thing for the entire week, for a cuisine, I would choose Chinese, but particularly it would be fried rice. I love fried rice.
Yummy. Here, here. And if you were allowed to keep a pet, maybe you already have one, but what animal would you choose?
I actually don't have a pet, but if I could choose a pet that I would love to keep, it would be a snake. I love snakes.
You're serious? What is it about snakes that you love?
I think I love their color, and more than that is the fact that they teach us a lot of things. And much more than that is that I'm scared of every animal except snakes.
All right, you do know this is a fairly unique answer, but you're serious, so I'm not going to say it. What is your favorite memory from this COVID pandemic time?
My favorite memory of COVID is spending time with my family, making new dishes at home. We tried out making sweet potato chili, that honey chili potato, noodles, all stuff like that. So I think I enjoyed a lot this COVID.
Oh. So now talking about enforced closeness fostered by COVID, but what's your favorite thing, all right, that you do with your mom and dad?
The favorite thing I do with my mom and dad is play games with them. And they don't usually adapt to the new games we play, but we play old games also, like Ludo, Snakes and Ladders, and I don't think anyone in my house can beat my parents at that. They're too good at that.
Okay. I remember these family meetings too, when we used to sit down, dad, mum, me, my brother, and play something called court piece, which was like an easier form of bridge. As you can imagine, we're all mad card players in my house. So that was great fun. And I really treasure those times. So now, if you had one special message you'd like to give your parents, what would it be? Think about it.
If I could give my parents a special message, it would definitely be that I love you guys. You guys mean a lot to me, and thank you so much for bringing me up and making me a great child. And you guys are the best parents I could ever ask for.
Oh gosh, you're gonna have me in tears. This was a fabulous interview. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Can't call it an interview, it was a chat session, really. And thank you for opening up. And you really told me something about yourself, what makes you click and tick, like I said earlier. I'm now going to wind up and join me in this wonderful yell to Edolve. All we do is go, yay, Edolve. You think you could do
Yay!
that? All right. And more power to you, Amvi. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.